this mean? That's just me. So the older we get, the more we get into certain habits, and we just embrace them. Like, that's just me. That's just how I am. And it's probably something dysfunctional, and it does kind of hinder my, success or my day-to-day, but that's just me. And I want you guys all to think about, what is your most dysfunctional, that's just me? What is that thing that you're just kind of like, well, it's just how I am. It's no big deal. It doesn't actually hurt anybody. That's just me. I have these. I've been trying to tackle them one by one. One of my that's just me's was proclaiming I'm phone phobic. That's it. I don't like phones. I have anxiety when I'm on the phone. Dialing people's phone numbers make me anxious. My mom, my sister, and my husband were pretty much the only 3 people I would ever get on the phone to. Like ordering pizza, terrifying. Calling my daughter's daycare, freaky. This would stop me from organizing things for my daughter. This would stop me from making play dates for my daughter. This would stop me from calling back job opportunities. I'm just phone phobic. If I can't do it via email, I'm just not meant to do it. I am phone phobic. But we all have these things. And it might be, it could be phone phobia. It could be you're just late to things. You're always late. That's who you are. That's just you. That's just me. I'm late. People have learned to accept it. It's fine. Maybe it's the messy desk syndrome. That's just me. My desk is messy. That's how I am. It's fine. And people have learned to live with it. So what is your, that's just me? So our second step after we go, okay, that's just me. Now you get to the tough stuff. Now you have to question yourself, well, why? What is the function? Why am I doing this? And there won't be a direct answer, you guys. This isn't some deep psychological instant moment. But question yourself, why do I do this? Why do I always show up late? Why am I terrified of the phone? Why is my desk always messy? And one of 2 things happen. Either, first of all, there is a legitimate reason. It is not dysfunctional. There is a function to it, and you're like, okay. But if that function is just to avoid that anxious feeling, and you go, wait a minute, something's not making sense here. Me being afraid of the phone, is there any danger on the phone? Will a lion come through and eat me? No. Am I going to get hurt by ordering the wrong pizza? No. So there is something dysfunctional about my phone phobia. Okay, so let's say you look at your desk and you're like, I always have a messy desk. It is not functional. Well, at some point, you learned these habits for a reason. They were functional to you at some point. What was that? Maybe it was a long time ago, maybe it's current. So at some point it was functional. I can't tell you a pinpoint a moment where being on the phone was dysfunctional for me, but I could go back and think, maybe when I was in high school, being on the phone meant gossip and people getting mad at each other, and it just caused drama. And so I learned to just stay off the phone, because phones are when people were just nah, 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 nah. So I learned phones were just not a functional thing. It just caused problems. And from that point on, I just kind of avoided phone calls. I'm not saying that's the exact reason. I can't pinpoint the moment. I just know that it built, and I got to the point where I just felt like being on the phone was going to cause problems. And then I got to the point where I was like, well, wait a minute. Does it really? So, maybe this whole messy desk syndrome, maybe you think, okay, if my desk is clean, it's going to look like all of my work is done. And then my boss is going to give me more work. Or maybe there's cutbacks going on around your office and you're afraid, if my desk is clean, it's going to look like they haven't given me enough work. I don't do enough here. I'm probably at risk of getting fired. Now, maybe you are. Maybe a messy desk is your way of telling everybody you're working hard and they're not going to fire you. But if you look around, are there people with clean desks who still have a job? So question it. Look around and say, is there other people who are doing this and it's fine with them? Because if it's only you, that's just me, it's probably not functional. If you're always late to things, maybe it's functional. Maybe it's because you have 17 kids that you're driving to 3,000 different functions and you're late because Timmy's soccer doesn't get done until George's basketball starts, and so you're late. That's functional. That happens. However, if you're always late, even to the first thing of the day, you probably have some sort of belief about being late. And it might be like, well, if I get there early, then I have to talk to people and that's awkward. But if I walk in 5 minutes late, then it's usually things have started and I can just sit down and I don't have to, just make that awkward conversation. Know that about yourself. And then think, is it really that bad, that awkward conversation? Maybe you're afraid if you get there early, people are going to be like, oh, hey, I see that you haven't signed up for the cookie sale. And you're like, every time I show up early, people invite me to do something. Okay, that's fine. Learn to say the word no. So step number 1, we're going to figure out what is our most dysfunctional. That's just me. Step 2, you're going to question yourself why. And if you can't think of why, come up with really ridiculous reasons why. My room is always messy. Why is my room always messy? I'm lazy. No, I don't believe that, because cleaning is work, but trying to find stuff in a mess is also work. So maybe you believe, again, that a messy room tells people you're busy. Maybe you grew up in a house that had a lot of bugs and you kept your room messy so your friends wouldn't see the bugs. I don't know. Brainstorm. And then step 3, here's where it gets fun. We're going to challenge our behavior. What? You're going to do that exact thing that freaks you out, or the exact thing that is not you. You're going to show up on time. You're going to, because you're capable of doing these things. You're just going to have to deal with that discomfort. Oh, I have to show up on time. Okay, I physically know. It's not hard to figure out how to show up on time. You guys use your little MapQuest thing and say it takes this long to get from point A to point B, and this is what time I'll walk into point B, so I have to leave out the door at this time, and you walk out the door. It's not hard, but you're going to do it. You're going to feel discomfort, and you're going to question that discomfort. You're going to clean your desk, and you're going to walk away, and there'll be this icky feeling in your stomach, and you're going to go, what is this icky feeling? Why is it here? And then that icky feeling is going to go, wait a minute, I'm not dying. Nothing's getting hurt. It's okay. People might question you. You guys, I did this. I'll share one of my examples. Learning to use the phone is really exciting for me. It's a big moment. But one of my first big moments was ordering pizza. Like literally. And you guys can laugh at me because this is ridiculous. But I ordered, can you imagine? My poor husband, he's been married to me for 10 years. And I can't order food. We're starving. I'm like, I know you're doing 17 other things, but can you stop mowing the lawn to order pizza? Because I'm sitting in here and the phone's next to me, but I can't because it's scary. So I ordered pizza, and I ordered from Casey's. And afterwards, my husband's like, are they delivering? And I was like, I didn't ask. And I suddenly get hyper defensive. I told you I can't order pizza. I just don't know what to do, and I can't make phone calls right. Okay. I just was asking if there was delivery. Okay, I guess it's really not that big a deal. Any other thing that would be hilarious, oh, you forgot to ask this. Okay, no big deal. But because I was all sensitive about phone calls, I'm personally beating myself up. No big deal. I'm going to go there anyway because it's going to pick up soda. So I go to the gas station. Oh, wait a minute. I forgot to tell them my name. How are they ever going to know whose pizza is what? Because, the gas station's so busy with pizza. I don't know. But again, beating myself up, I don't know how to make phone calls. And I get to Casey's and I'm like, I ordered pizza. Now, I'm totally obnoxious and weird any other place, but because it's associated with the phone call, I'm all wacky. I ordered pizza and, I didn't give you guys my name, but I was the one that ordered the small pepperoni. Oh, they're like, yeah, Karina Nathan? That's an interesting name. And I'm like, what? Oh, they have caller ID. BT dubs. And so normally this would be a funny conversation about the fact that my name is Karina Nathan, but I'm like, no, that's my husband's name and my name, and and it's so weird. And then they bring out the pizza, dude. You guys, the pizza is this big. I ordered a small, thinking, it was my daughter had a friend over and they don't usually eat a lot of pizza. The pizza was a small, and again, I'm like, I just can't order pizza. I screwed everything up. I didn't have it delivered. I got the wrong size. They had a weird name. And I'm driving home and I start laughing hysterically. I was raised with this wonderful belief that God has a sense of humor. God has a great sense of humor. And if you've never noticed this, well, I'm sorry, but you need to start looking now because he does. He is there's so many stories. But here's the thing. I beat myself up, and every time, if I made a phone call and it worked out okay, I would still be tense. But instead, I'm driving home going, how perfect is this design? God's like, okay, you're scared of pizza. What's the worst that could happen? How about if the pizza is hilariously tiny and the name is wrong and you don't have it delivered and everything goes wrong and now you're driving home and guess what? You lived. And so this is what happens as we start questioning our that's just me. You do something and you're like, oh, this is so uncomfortable. So that is your thing, you guys, today. What is your that's just me? Try to figure out why. Why do you do it? Because you have a reason. You don't just do it for the sake of doing it. I guarantee you it was functional at one point, or you saw somebody that worked for it. And then you're going to brave going against the grain. And it's going to be scary and it's going to be hilarious. And you're going to have so much fun.